Hey there guys, so today we're going to be doing the second part of my Q&A video that I started in my week of videos, and we're sitting on a chair today because, I don't know, I just felt like sitting on a chair. It's a spin a chair, spin! Yeah, and also we have my laptop right here so I can read the questions, and let's begin! I'm going to do these videos, I'm going to try and stop after I've gone for like 10 minutes of answering questions, because I don't want to rush. And I want to answer all your questions as good as I can. And so, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So let's begin this little question and answer business. The first question that I'll answer is from Rose Kelly. She asks, where she says, "Happy anniversary and thank you for doing your giveaway." You're welcome. My question is, if you could be one character for a day, who would you be and why? I'm gonna choose Matilda, because I just recently watched the movie, which is awesome, and I love the book as well. And she's read so many more books than me, like so many more. How has she read all those? So many more books. It's because she had all that free time, all that free time. And also, obviously she can move things with her mind, which is pretty cool and which I would love to do. So yeah. The next question, or the next person who asked something, is from Casa Hamasi. I don't know how to say. I'm so sorry. When you ask or say, who has been the biggest influence on your life? What lessons did that person teach you? I think when I was younger, I would have probably said someone like Nelson Mandela. I know he's, I don't actually know Nelson Mandela, so he's not going to have like a huge influence on my life, but he's one of those people who believes in something and never stops believing in it, even if he's pushed as far as he is. And also I'm from South Africa, so I just see him as this really amazing person. And that was something that I always, and I still do now, think is really amazing. And I really respect people who believe in something, and even though they're pushed to their limits, that they will still believe that thing. It's more important to them than anything else. Because I would really like to have something that I believe in more than anything else, and I don't. And I know a lot of people will say that they do, but I don't really believe them, to be honest. I don't think that a lot of people would believe in something and then be in jail for 20-something years and still believe in it after that. It takes a certain type of person, or not a certain type of person, it takes a certain amount of belief. Like you just really have to believe in it, and I really respect people like that. But people who have influenced me a lot in my life are my parents, obviously. Whenever people used to say that, like when I was younger, I'd be like, you can come up with something better. You just wanted to get the ah from everyone. But yeah, I really think that my parents are amazing, and I, definitely see the flaws that they have. I definitely see them, but I really realize how much they've worked and how hard they've worked and how much they love me. And yeah, they've just taught me to be the best person that I can, and to work hard, and the things that parents teach you, those things. The next question is, where is it? By Chad Goodall, and he asks, or says, "Happy vlogversary. My question, what finally gave you the push to start actively vlog your YouTube channel, and how did it make you feel when your subs responded to you?" Okay. So at the start of doing this whole YouTube thing, I was kind of doing this thing where I would make something, right? And it would be fun to make and stuff. And I would make it, but then I would wait. I'd put it out into the world, and I would wait. And I would wait for a response from the world. And there came a certain time when I just stopped waiting. There was responses, but not as much as I thought or expected or wanted there to be. And at a certain point, I just stopped waiting for the world. I just started doing stuff and putting it out there, and I stopped expecting something in return. That gave me, I think that was when I just started to have fun with this, and to just stop expecting more than I was getting. But then when people started to respond to me and started to, comment on my videos, it was amazing. It felt like the world was speaking back to me. Gosh, I feel really cheesy right now. The next question is by Shy Girl Now 2011. If you could change a character in a story, who would you change, and what would you change them to? The Hunger Games, by Susan Collins. This is going to be a weird thing. I don't think this is what you expected or wanted me to answer, but I'm going to answer it anyway. What's his name? Snow. President Snow. I think his name is President Snow, right? I think you know who I mean, like the president of the capital city. I would change him into a cat. I didn't think of this when I was reading the book, but when I watched the movie, I think it was his hair. It just, it just reminds me of Cat. It's like the white evil cat from Cats versus Dogs or something like that. What's that movie? It just I saw him as that, and I would think it would be really cool to just have an evil, maniacal, talking cat who just no one else should be cats, just him, and he just rules the capital city. I think that'd be an interesting twist on things. Remo1166 says, "Happy BookTube birthday, thank you. What is your favorite genre within YA, and books that you think are overrated and underrated?" My favorite genre within YA is probably dystopian or fantasy because that's the genre I read the most, and books you think are overrated, underrated. I'm not going to say books that are overrated because I can't think of any because that's really hard. Yeah, it's too hard. Books that I think are underrated are the one that I've just read recently, Poison Sunny by Maria V. Snyder. It's awesome, it's fantasy, and it's really cool. It reminds me of like a Game of Thrones kind of book, but not. It has kind of a, if you were hoping to one day read Game of Thrones but you don't want to jump into it, I would say read Marie V. Snyder's Poison Study because it has hints of that, but it's very different as well. And it's definitely, I think, it's like medium fantasy, not complete high fantasy, not like a Game of Thrones. Even though I'm not even sure if that's high fantasy. It is because it's dragons, but I don't know. Does that make it of going on a tangent here? But yeah, definitely read that. It's amazing. The next question is from Hannah13231. She says, "My question for you is, how do you get yourself out of a reading slump?" I normally when I'm on a reading slump, it only lasts for like a week or something like that, or 2 weeks, and so I just let it last. Because isn't a reading slump where you just don't feel like reading books? And so I'm like, okay, I don't read any books for these 2 weeks. It's not gonna destroy the world or not. But if I wanted to start reading again and I was upset with the fact that I'm not reading, then I would probably start reading like a really small book that I know I like. Probably a Roald Dahl book like The Twits or Matilda, like a children's book that I know I'm gonna like and that I know I'll enjoy, and it's small so I can get through it quickly and just start reading books that I know I will like or that I have liked in the past. And I've heard a lot of people like to read Harry Potter to get out of reading slumps, so there you go if you didn't know that. The next question is from Lena Grace Ueda, I think, and you ask, "Would you visit a village filled with dwarfs?" It actually exists, you saying the things. I would. That'd be cool. I would feel pretty tall. In New Zealand, in the South Island, I believe, is Peter Jackson's Hobbit Town or whatever, where the Hobbit movie was filmed, and it's there and you can visit it. And when I was in New Zealand, I wanted to visit, but I didn't, and so, I don't know. I should have. Now I want to, and yeah, so I would visit either one. Both would be great, so yeah. The next question is from Virginia de Beauvoir. I've said so many people's names wrong in this video. Okay. You say, "Congratulations on hitting 500 subscribers. I'm a recent subscriber, but I've been enjoying your videos a lot. Thank you, and welcome to this channel." I don't know what else I was going to say. My question for you is, what's the thing you like the most about living in Australia? Oh, this is hard. I've only lived in Australia for 2 years. I really want to say the beaches, because that's just such an easy, it is kind of the answer that I would give, because Australia's a really, really beautiful place, and it's really beautiful, and the beaches are kind of the only aspect of that, that I've visited. Like, I've been to lots of beaches in Australia, so I would say the beaches. On a like more personal note, I suppose, I would say that Australia is a good middle ground for me, I think. I've lived in 3 places my entire life. I've lived in South Africa, New Zealand, and then Australia, and Australia is kind of in the middle of those 2 places. I would say that, it's safer than Australia. Australia is safer than South Africa, but it's not as safe as New Zealand. But it's livelier than New Zealand. There's more things happening, more events. It's a bigger place, so there's more stuff, and more opportunities as well. But yeah. So it's kind of in the middle for me, and I like that. From Lost Sheep, you ask, "Favorite dystopian book series?" Divergent, probably, because Divergent is a very excellent book series, and I like both of them, and I think it's the only book series, maybe, I think, that I've given 5 out of 5 to both of the books, or all the books so far in the series. So yes, that's my favorite dystopian book series. Char's New Chapter asks, or says, "Ah, I didn't even know that you'd been here a year." Well, now you do, and you say, "Well done, Dill." My question is, well, I have two. Your first question is, which character do you relate to the most ever? Okay, this is gonna be really hard. On Go Book Yourself's like live hangout chat thing, I did like a quiz while we were doing it, and it says that I most relate to Bella from the Twilight Saga, which I don't think is true. But you know, I really like characters in books that do their homework, which I know is weird, but I never do my homework, and I always am like, how are you doing your homework? Especially when they do it like as soon as they get home. I'm like, how do you do that? That's just not possible for me. When I get home, it's like straight to the computer. But yeah, I don't know, and really, I will get back to you on this question. No, I won't. I will give you an answer, but it's not going to be, okay. I'm going to say that I don't relate mostly to this character as a whole, but I relate mostly to Jane Eyre, by Charlotte Bronte, the main character, Jane Eyre. Because of the decision that she makes in the book. She makes a decision that shocked me, and it's one of the reasons that I like the book so much. It's one of the reasons it's my favorite book ever. And the decision is kind of a decision that I feel like that I have to make as well, and that I haven't made, or haven't made the right decision. And so, you know, I kind of felt that kind of connection to her. The second part, or the second question you ask is, what do you value as your biggest achievement while being a booktube other than lasting a year? I would probably say Go Book Yourself. You know, I really like the fact that it's with other booktubers, and it's, you know, it's really awesome. I really like the idea, and I like the fact that it's with other booktubers. That's just something that I really enjoy, and I really liked having, you know, talking to them and communicating, and that's the same thing, isn't it? Just planning videos and just, you know, feeling as part of a team. It was really fun, and we should really get back to doing it. But also, I would say that my creative process has kind of changed, I guess, or not changed, but kind of developed when it comes to booktube, because I feel like when you start doing something, you just do it and you have fun with it and stuff like that, but then as you go along, you start to really enjoy it and really get into it, and you start to have a vision of what you want it to be that you didn't have at the start, and you realize that what you're making right now is totally not as good as what you expect from yourself or what you want to see. And I'm kind of at that stage where, you know, I'm doing videos, but I have this expectation of myself, or I have this ultimate video idea of what I want my videos to be, and I'm not at that point yet. And you know, I think that's part of the creative process. I think that it will last a long time. Maybe it never ends. Maybe you are always expecting more and wanting your videos to be more and not being happy with them. And I like that. Don't like it at the same time. So yes, that is all the questions that I'll be answering in this video. I hope that you've enjoyed this and that you haven't found it extremely boring. So yeah, that's all I really have to say now. I'm taking really long to say goodbye. Okay. Goodbye.
Swivel, swivel. Woo! Woo! Everything's got more. Swivel. I'm like, ah! Yeah, that wasn't strange at all.